Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For the supportive oracle card, Wisdom of the House of Night. And that's by whoever's in the back here, if you can see that. But if you look them up online, you'll easily be able to see who they're from if you want to get that deck. Energy is like... I just feel like the energy is pumping a little bit. That's a crossed card. Get a crossed one right off this. It's a complicated moment. I do want this bottom card, just the bottom. Alright, so what do we have for the bottom card? Conclusion. Alright, so I really feel like, now, is this you're coming off of one or going into one? Or trying to create one? Trying to create a conclusion. You want to wrap things up. Is it you or somebody else is the question. I kind of feel like it's you. And you might not be there just yet, but you're going to get there. So you got conclusion here is what you're working for. This is Cancer. Okay. Now, when you're coming into this, you got two crossed cards. You got the Page of Swords and you got the Star. You're trying to watch what's happening around you. You're also you want to be optimistic, and you're trying to just observe. You're trying not to put too much of your input into it. You just want to see what it really is. But you're also trying to be optimistic. Right on top of it, kind of trumping the whole thing, is understanding. You're trying to figure out what's really going to happen here. But the thing is, this is the kicker. The situation you're dealing with is a lot of heartbreak. And you're trying to just kind of watch it play out. You're trying to be more optimistic. You're trying to... When I see understanding, I just kind of feel like... You're trying to... No, I feel like you're trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of why everything is going on and what actually needs to happen. It feels very technical to me. Like, it's not even like about how people are working with each other. It's just kind of... It's almost like you have to take care of some business, and you have to look at it in a very detailed way. It doesn't seem like you're happy about it. The situation itself isn't feeling great. And what I feel you're doing here is you're just trying to kind of roll with it. It's just one of those things you have to handle it. But you definitely are looking to finish it up. It's kind of like you're not enjoying it. The situation just doesn't feel enjoyable. It's the situation, period. And you're trying to be understanding of it. You're trying to find that light at the end of the tunnel, and you're looking for it. I feel like that's what that Page of Swords is. You're looking for it. Now, this situation is not going without a hitch. It's having some bumps. It's having some issues as it keeps going. You have the Five of Cups here, and I feel like this is in the environment, by the way. I feel like that just things, they're going pretty much... I don't feel like they're off key, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like they're off plan, but it just seems like this is how this plays out. Certain things go well, and then this wasn't right, that wasn't right, so things have to be redone, and then, okay, well, this is a little bit better, but we have to fix this a little bit more. I just seem to feel like it keeps being refined, and it just seems like this is the nature of the beast. It's almost like it's really difficult to do it right the first time. So it just seems common that it's just kind of constantly has to be redone, and it's annoying and it's obnoxious. But I feel like it's kind of like whoever you're working with, whatever you're working with, it's kind of like, no, that's not right. No, we need this. No, we got to do that. And it just seems like the situation is just dragging out because at no fault of your own, honestly, is what I'm feeling. It just has to keep being redone and just kind of refined. More things are needed. It's annoying. It definitely is annoying. I don't feel like you're liking it, but you're trying to get... This is that same energy where you're trying to have more understanding. You're trying to work through it. You're just kind of like, this is what has to be done. This is another piece. It just has to be done. I feel your energy coming in that way. Like, it just has to be done. We just have to keep going. And I feel somebody else pushing back like, nope, we need this. Nope, you got to do this a little differently. Nope, we need this too. And it is progressing slowly but surely. It's just obnoxious is what I'm getting. I almost feel like you would like to just get a hold of this person and be like, can you just make a complete list of everything you need, and I'll just do it at once, but it's not working out that way. It's just like every time you send something in, oh, this, and that. And then, all right, well, here. And then, oh, okay, that's good, but this, and that. And it just feels really obnoxious. Like, why couldn't you just tell it all to me at once? Why couldn't you just do it all at once? And I feel like this person or whoever you're working with isn't catching it all at once. They're catching it in pieces, and as they catch it, they're letting you know. And I feel like that's why. It's frustrating. I feel frustration there. All right, so, but that's the reason why, if you're wondering, like, as they go through and find things that are wrong, they're letting you know as they find them. So they tell you, they send you those things, they kind of put it to the side is what I'm getting. And then when you give them more information, then they work on it a little more, and they're like, then they find more, and that's why it keeps happening like that. They're not going through the whole thing at once. They're just going so far, correcting that, going a little farther, correcting that, and that's why it seems so monotonous. I don't know if that makes you feel better, but it seems like that's warranted. Like, why? Because it's annoying. Now, I'm getting the Five of Wands between you and whoever you're dealing with, because it seems like it does get on your nerves at some point, to the point where you actually you might just surprise yourself and burst out about it, or you're just aggravated and you're going to say something. Whether you're seeing yourself coming to this moment or not, it's going to happen is the point. Because what I'm getting is you're getting fed up. With like every 2 steps you make, go 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 step forward, 1 step back. 2 step forward, 1 step back. And you're getting really annoyed with it. So I do see like a conflict happening between you and this situation, whether it be a person or whatever. And I'm getting these 2 cards with you. The Knight of Swords and the Deceit card. What is the Deceit card doing here for you? Because I feel like you're feeling like you've been deceived. Almost like somebody's yanking your chain. Okay, that makes sense. So it's on your side because you're feeling like somebody's deceiving you, and you're getting annoyed, and you're looking at this situation like, why are you just yanking me around? You're just running me in circles. Like, you're not even helping me. You're just making me do more and more. Is this fun for you? Are you enjoying this? This is part of that aggravation. I feel like that's why we explained like why it's coming in pieces. Like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 step forward, 1 step back. 2 step forward, 1 step back. And you're just like, I've had it. I've so had it. And you're ticked. Because you think somebody's just yanking you around, just yanking your chain, yanking you around, and you're sick of it. That is why, though, because they're going through a segment, telling you what's wrong. They're not looking at it again until they get that stuff back. Then they're going into the next segment, telling you what's wrong with that. Then they make sure that's correct. Then they go into the next segment. That is why. I'm not sure how much that's going to help you or make you feel better, but that's the reason I'm getting behind it. Now, I do see you voicing your opinion. Like, I'm seeing conflict here because you've had it. You're just getting fed right up with it. Ace of Swords shows up in the environment, and I feel like whoever you're working with is trying to make this a little bit easier on you, and I feel like they're trying to look it all over at once at this point. There's not much left, I have a feeling. By the time you get to this point, they're just going through they're just trying to make sure they're letting you know that they're going to have to do one more revision and see what's left. They're going through all of it at once, what you've given back plus what's left. And I feel like they're giving you a list of the final things. It just seems like there's one more time around with this. They're letting you know it's coming during this conflict is what I'm getting. During that conflict, they're letting you know one more time. And I feel like you're like, well, it better be the last time because I'm really freaking fed up with it. Ugh. Like, you've had it. You're not amused. Not even a little. It's not funny. You're not amused. But they let you know it's coming around one more time. And they're like, I'm going to go through it one last time, find everything I can. This should be the last time. I apologize, blah, 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 blah. I'm feeling that energy. This should be the last time. Okay, fine. They send you this last list, and what I'm getting here is justice. Like, they're acknowledging everything you've done. They're showing you why this is the last time. They're showing you everything they need. Justice is kind of like, I feel like you're kind of like, all right, I've already went off about it once. Let me give this one last shot. If this is literally the last time, I will calm down about it, but it better be the last time. You do have justice on your side. I do feel like that's how this works out. This is really weird to me because the way this ends out is the moon with the fledgling. After you've done your part for this situation, I almost feel like then it's out of your hands and then other people have to take care of it after this. And you're kind of handing it over. The moon with the fledgling is telling me somebody else is picking it up. Somebody else is taking it from here. it almost feels like somebody else is starting on the situation. It's like being passed on to the next department almost. Person, department, whatever. Somebody else is being handed this situation. They have to take it from here. I'm getting the moon card with the fledgling is, one, the moon card is because I feel like you don't have any control anymore. You've done everything you could and you're kind of handing it over. And the fledgling is telling me somebody else is picking it up and now it's their ball of wax and they have to get used to it and go through the whole situation themselves and get used to it themselves. The way this is actually ending here, I feel like your segment for this is, that's the major part of your segment. Like this is the strongest part is what I'm getting. And from here on out, you just got to have faith in other people is what I'm getting to handle it. You might be able to, in some cases, depending on how this is hitting for you, keep in line with whoever this is handed to and just keep in contact with them to see where it's going, how it's going. But I don't feel you actually being able to assist at this point. You just kind of have to leave it in somebody else's hands. But I feel like at that point, though, you've done the best you can. And now it's just, let's see how it plays out. All right. I really think the most of this, what it's for, is like you're trying to be understanding in the beginning. You hit your limit, and you're fed up, and then they're just trying to explain why this keeps coming back. Like somebody's checking a segment, showing you giving you what's wrong, fix that, okay, next segment. But after they finish one segment, they literally put it down and they don't go back until they get all the pieces they need. And then when they got that put in line, then they go into the next segment. Then when they got that all in line, then they go to the next segment. And that's why you're getting repeat over and over and over. And I feel like that's the biggest part of this. If this is hitting with you, I feel like that's why it's coming to you, just to explain why that's happening. So hopefully it'll help you relax. You actually, I feel, if this is hitting in the beginning where you're trying to be understanding, I would probably try to get in a conversation directly with that person and ask them if that's what they're doing. And then ask them, try to get an idea, like how many segments do you have? Like, can they give an answer about how much there is? Like, are there 5 segments? Are there 6 segments? Are there 3 segments? How many segments? Because I feel like a lot of you are going to get the answer of, well, I get as far as I can, and then I stop when I have too many errors. And I feel like they're going to say, I can't tell you how big a segment is, but hopefully no more than 4 or 5 times. And I feel you kind of like feeling a little warm about that, kind of like 4 or 5 times, like, excuse you? And they're explaining why. So if you get this at the right time, you might be able to foster a conversation and just kind of make this a little bit less. I still feel like you're going to be aggravated, but it's going to be a lot less intense. But it's still going to creep up because you're going to be questioning, like, what do you mean 4 or 5 times? I still feel like it's going to have a little bit of a rough edge to it. But if you foster the conversation, it's not going to be as hard, not going to be as difficult. All right, and the outcome's still the same. All right, well, hopefully that helps. I'll get this out here so you all can see it. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.